Before I get into something important, I want to share a sentence I wish I never had to say again. Your kidneys have lost a significant amount of function, and the damage that's already happened cannot be reversed. I've seen the exact moment those words sink in. Everything goes quiet. A person suddenly realizes that an organ they've never really thought about has been silently struggling for years without giving them any warning at all. What many of those patients didn't know was that the reason they ended up in that chair wasn't always some mysterious disease. In many cases, it had been sitting in their kitchen all along, in the refrigerator, in the pantry, or inside a canned meal they opened the night before without thinking twice. To understand why this happens, you need to know one important fact about your kidneys. Each kidney contains around 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. You're born with all the nephrons you'll ever have. Your body doesn't make replacements. Once a nephron is damaged beyond repair, it's gone permanently. The frightening part is that your kidneys can lose nearly half or even more of their filtering ability before you notice anything unusual. No pain, no obvious symptoms, no warning signs telling you something is going wrong. Unlike many other organs, the kidneys are remarkably quiet when they're under stress. Your heart often lets you know when something isn't right. Your stomach reacts, your skin changes, but your kidneys simply keep working, adapting, and compensating for as long as they can. They continue carrying the extra burden until one day they simply can't anymore. What's causing that damage usually doesn't taste dangerous. In fact, it's often the exact opposite. These foods are comforting, familiar, and part of everyday life. I'm Dr. Nicole Harper. Before we go any further, let me make one thing absolutely clear. This isn't about fearing a single meal or believing one unhealthy choice causes kidney disease. Kidney damage develops from habits repeated consistently over many years. These are routines that become so normal we stop noticing them altogether. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 common food categories that can slowly place extra stress on your kidneys without you realizing it. And I want you to remember one important detail as we go through them. 2 of these categories are incredibly common together. Millions of people consume both on the very same day without realizing the combination may be creating far more stress than either one alone. I'll explain exactly which pair I'm talking about when we get there. First, let me tell you about someone I'll call Marjorie. She was 68 years old and had recently retired after spending decades as an office administrator. If she had simply described her eating habits to me, I probably would have called them healthy. She prepared most of her meals at home, avoided fast food most of the time, and genuinely believed she made careful choices. Then her blood pressure became increasingly difficult to manage, even though she'd been taking the same medication successfully for years. Her physician referred her for a closer evaluation of her kidney function after her estimated glomerular filtration rate, her eGFR, declined more than we'd normally expect from aging alone. Together, we reviewed everything she ate over the course of an average week, not what she believed she was eating, but exactly what was sitting in her cupboards and refrigerator. What we found was completely different from the healthy diet she had described only minutes earlier. We'll come back to Marjorie later because that gap between perception and reality explains why this conversation is so important. Now let's look at the 5 food categories. None of them will sound particularly dangerous when I mention them. In fact, your first reaction might be, that can't be a problem, everyone eats that. That reaction is exactly why these foods have quietly become part of daily life in millions of homes, while gradually increasing kidney stress over decades. Stay with me through every category. The fourth one surprises almost everyone because very few people associate it with kidney health, even though it's probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. Let's begin with the first category, hidden sodium. Sodium itself isn't harmful. Your body actually needs it to function properly. The problem is the enormous amount that's already added to packaged foods, long before they ever reach your kitchen. Most people assume the salt shaker is their biggest source of sodium, but that's rarely true. Around 70 to 80% of the sodium people consume comes from processed and packaged foods. It's found in bread that doesn't even taste salty. It's mixed into breakfast cereals where sweetness hides it completely. 1 can of soup can contain nearly an entire day's recommended sodium intake. Some frozen meals provide even more than that. Processed meats, cheese products, pizza, fast food, crackers, bottled sauces, and salad dressings all contribute large amounts without drawing much attention. When sodium intake stays consistently high over many years, two things begin happening at the same time. First, your body holds on to more water to dilute the excess sodium. That extra fluid raises blood pressure. Long-term high blood pressure is one of the leading causes of chronic kidney disease worldwide. It gradually damages the delicate blood vessels supplying each nephron, forcing those tiny filters to work under pressure they were never designed to handle. Second, your kidneys must continuously remove the extra sodium from your bloodstream. They work around the clock without a break, creating a constant workload that slowly wears the system down over time. Fortunately, this is one area where small changes can make a meaningful difference. Instead of focusing only on using less table salt, pay closer attention to packaged foods. Check nutrition labels for the actual sodium content based on the amount you'll realistically eat, not just the small serving size listed on the package. Whenever possible, prepare meals using fresh ingredients and season them yourself. Even when you add salt during cooking, you'll usually consume far less than what's already packed into heavily processed foods. Now let's move to the second category: excess phosphorus from food additives. Most people have never heard about this, but it's something worth understanding. Naturally occurring phosphorus is found in foods like meat, fish, dairy products, beans, and nuts. Your body absorbs these forms gradually, and healthy kidneys are generally able to manage them without difficulty. The challenge comes from a different type entirely. Modern food manufacturing frequently adds inorganic phosphate compounds to processed foods. These ingredients improve texture, preserve freshness, enhance color, and extend shelf life. You'll commonly find them in processed meats, fast food, many soft drinks, packaged baked goods, and processed cheese products. Unlike naturally occurring phosphorus, these additives are absorbed extremely efficiently by your body. That means far more phosphorus enters your bloodstream, leaving your kidneys responsible for removing levels they weren't designed to handle on a regular basis. Over many years, this additional burden may contribute to hardening of the blood vessels and place ongoing stress on kidney function. The difficult part is that these phosphate additives often appear on ingredient lists under technical names that most shoppers either don't recognize or simply overlook while reading the label. You'll often see names like sodium phosphate, calcium phosphate, phosphoric acid, or sodium tripolyphosphate. In fact, if an ingredient starts with phosp, it's worth paying attention. Here's something simple you can do this week. Pick one packaged food you buy regularly and read the ingredient list from top to bottom. This time, don't look at the calories or fat. Look specifically for phosphate additives. That one small habit will teach you far more about your daily phosphorus intake than any general health advice ever could. I'm curious, have you ever intentionally checked a food label just to see if it contained phosphate additives? Most people haven't. Now let's move to the third category, because this one often surprises people. It involves something many consider one of the healthiest parts of their diet. If you're finding this information useful, take a second to subscribe. Most people watch a video like this, think it's interesting, and completely forget about it by the next day. If you're learning something that could actually help your health, one quick click makes sure you don't miss future videos. The third category isn't protein itself, it's the way many people eat it. Let me be very clear because this topic is often misunderstood. Your body needs protein. It's essential for maintaining muscles, repairing tissues, and supporting countless functions throughout the body. Animal protein isn't the enemy either. The concern is a long-term eating pattern where large portions of animal protein appear at breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day for decades without much variety. When your body digests protein, it produces nitrogen-containing waste that your kidneys have to remove. The more protein you eat, the harder those tiny filters have to work. Blood flow through the kidneys increases, and pressure inside the nephrons rises. Healthy kidneys can usually handle that temporary increase without difficulty. The problem develops when that extra workload never really stops. Year after year, especially alongside high blood pressure or elevated blood sugar, the constant strain can gradually reduce kidney function. Processed meats deserve special attention here. Foods like bacon, sausage, deli meats, pepperoni, and hot dogs combine several kidney stressors into one serving. They tend to be loaded with sodium, often contain phosphate additives, and provide concentrated animal protein all at once. Instead of exposing your kidneys to just one challenge, they create three at the same time. A simple way to improve your meals is by changing the balance of your plate. Think of your dinner plate in four sections. Fill half with vegetables. Reserve one quarter for whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, or whole wheat options. The remaining quarter is where your protein belongs, and a serving about the size of a deck of cards is usually enough. A few times each week, replace meat with plant-based proteins, such as beans, lentils, or tofu. Research from multiple populations suggests that this kind of eating pattern is associated with better kidney health over the long term. Your kidneys aren't asking you to eliminate meat completely. They're asking you not to build every single meal around it for the next 30 years. Now we come to category 4. This is the one I mentioned earlier, the item almost nobody thinks about when they consider kidney health, yet it's probably sitting inside countless refrigerators right now. Sugary soft drinks. One regular can of soda typically contains around 9 or 10 teaspoons of added sugar, often in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Large fountain drinks can contain nearly twice that amount. These beverages don't stress your kidneys through just one pathway, they affect them in several different ways at once. First, drinking sugary beverages every day increases the likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes, which remains the leading cause of chronic kidney disease worldwide. Over time, consistently high blood sugar damages the tiny blood vessels inside the kidneys, allowing protein to leak into the urine long before obvious symptoms appear. Second, these drinks contribute to weight gain and metabolic syndrome. Even without diabetes, both conditions independently increase the risk of kidney disease. Third, research suggests that high fructose intake may directly affect the kidneys by increasing uric acid levels and damaging small blood vessels, regardless of body weight or blood sugar levels. Then there's another concern specific to dark colas. Many contain phosphoric acid, meaning one daily soda may expose your kidneys to the hidden phosphorus problem we discussed earlier, while also delivering the effects of excessive sugar. Two separate categories of stress combined in a single drink. One of the most powerful changes you can make is surprisingly simple. Let water become your normal choice instead of something you drink only occasionally. If you enjoy carbonation, choose sparkling water. If you want something warm, unsweetened tea is an excellent option. When you're craving sweetness, eat whole fruit instead of reaching for fruit-flavored beverages that contain little actual fruit. If drinking a sugar-sweetened beverage every day is part of your routine, replacing that single habit may have a greater impact on your long-term kidney health than almost any other change we've discussed. The fifth and final category isn't really about what's in your glass. It's about the pattern behind it. This topic deserves a little extra nuance because drinking habits vary widely between people and cultures. Sharing a glass of wine during dinner or enjoying an occasional drink with friends isn't what we're talking about. The concern is regular heavy alcohol consumption that slowly becomes part of everyday life. Every time alcohol enters your bloodstream, your kidneys immediately begin helping your body process and eliminate it. Alcohol also dehydrates you, forcing the kidneys to work under less than ideal conditions. Frequent or heavy drinking can increase blood pressure, disrupt electrolyte balance, and contribute to liver disease. When serious liver disease develops, kidney function often suffers as well because these organs are closely connected. Medical research consistently identifies heavy alcohol use as a significant risk factor for chronic kidney disease. Even moderate drinking, when repeated day after day for many years, gradually adds to the overall workload your kidneys must carry. The goal isn't necessarily to eliminate alcohol completely for everyone. The bigger difference comes from drinking less and giving your body regular alcohol-free days each week. Those breaks matter just as much, if not more, than how much you drink on any single occasion. If you've ever found it difficult to cut back, protecting your kidney health is one more meaningful reason to reach out for support and build healthier long-term habits. Now let me come back to the combination I mentioned earlier. When we carefully reviewed Marjorie's weekly routine, we found that she regularly used canned soup as the base for homemade meals, packed deli ham into her lunch almost every day, and had switched from regular soda to a flavored sparkling drink because she believed it was the healthier option. What she didn't realize was that the sparkling drink contained nearly as much sugar as the soda she had stopped drinking. The canned soup and deli meat together exposed her to both hidden sodium and phosphate additives at the same meal. The sweetened sparkling beverage quietly added another layer of stress through excess sugar. Individually, none of these choices seemed alarming. Most people wouldn't think twice about any of them. But together, repeated week after week and year after year, they created a pattern that slowly placed extra strain on her kidneys without attracting any attention. We made a few practical changes instead of completely redesigning her diet. The canned soup was replaced with homemade broth. Daily deli meat became roasted chicken prepared at home several times a week instead. The sugary sparkling drink was swapped for plain sparkling water with fresh lemon slices. 6 months later, her follow up appointment brought encouraging news. Her blood pressure had improved without increasing her medication, and instead of continuing to decline, her EGFR had stabilized. One thing she said has stayed with me ever since. No one ever asked me what I actually ate throughout a normal week. They only asked if I ate healthy. I always answered yes because I truly believed I did. If you only remember a few things from this entire discussion, make them these 7 principles. First, reduce your reliance on processed and packaged foods. Hidden sodium and phosphate additives quietly create far more long-term stress than most people realize. Second, replace sugar-sweetened drinks with water whenever possible. Let water become your first choice instead of something you drink only occasionally.